It's easy to say, I want to build a finance habit, or I want to build a good finance habit. So you realize that there are 10 other things that you have to add to your everyday workload that is gradually increasing. And then you begin to skip some things because you are tired and just can't remember to do them every single day. And then you begin to feel guilty because you're not building the habits that you want to build. And eventually you give up, you quit, and you tell yourself, next month, next month, next month. And eventually next month becomes next year, and you're right back where you started. It's an amazing thing, isn't it? When I first began my very lucrative finance journey of remembering to do the little things that will build up to the big thing, it was very stressful because you have to remember to send a particular amount of money to this account and to that account, and then this amount of money to the investment app to buy, and then look for the stock to buy, or send it to the investment app to buy the stock, and then manually click on it and say buy this number of units. And then it was also hard to remember to take a screenshot of every single receipts or every single payment that you make, or send it to the expense tracker, write it down manually or whatnot, or this and that. And there were too many little things to do, and it was so stressful. Really, it was honestly very stressful. I found out that people automate. Amazing, isn't it? I know. But people automate their finances. They put it on automation schedules. So when a particular date comes up, automatically it goes in and it does the work for them. But I was quite skeptical about automation because what do you mean that an AI or a robot will have access to my money and automatically remove a certain percentage of my hard-earned money to do the thing that I do want to do, honestly? But is it really that simple? Is it that simple to automate? Is it really that easy to automate your finances? So when we get into this, I would love if you could give a talk like or follow on whatever platform you're watching us on. It keeps us all free and it helps topics like this drop into your feed every Tuesday morning for you to resonate with, argue with, or learn from. To be very honest, like I mentioned earlier, I was very skeptical of automation. It just didn't seem right to me. Why would I not be actively invested in building the life that I want to build? My argument was, if I truly wanted to build a good finance habit, then I should be willing to put in the time and work to do it every single day. But doing it every single day was not realistic because some days were busier than others. And when I missed that day, the next day I would say, and I had to do for 2 days. And it was quite stressful to remember the little things. I remember a very particular problem that I had was with my investments, with buying stocks on the markets, because I had to remember every single month that I had to buy a certain percentage of stocks. And sometimes I forgot that, oh, it's that time of the month to buy. In as much as I used to buy it when my salary came in, by the time I was done dividing the money, I'm like, okay, this is for stocks. I should send it to stocks. I should buy some market a little bit later. There's still time. There's a bit of time later. I can do it later. And then later never came. And then I remember about 5 days later and I was saying, wow, the time has passed. Maybe the stock has climbed, but it has fallen. And all these little things were so stressful, but I was skeptical. So what I did was I just went on with the investment because that's my major issue. Remembering to invest the money into the markets, actually. I did it with one stock. So I use Bamboo, and Bamboo has this feature for US stocks where you can connect an account and it automatically remove the money from that account and buy the stock for you on a specific date. And it will send you a receipt based upon. So send your receipt, a very beautiful transaction. So I did it for one store. And I just found that it was a lot easier not remembering to run up and down or type it into my calendar. It was automatically done for me, which means one of my tasks for the day was done, regardless of the fact that, I hardly had to think or remember it. The only thing was I would get receipts that, oh, this task has been done. And it felt wonderful to have a load lifted off my shoulders. So I began to automate more. The only thing that I found stressful or I found problematic with the automation process was I didn't find a specific application that could scan my receipts and automatically write it down in my trackers, my finance trackers, my expense trackers, and I honestly do wish there was an application right there or out there that could do that. If there is, I still haven't found it. I did try to have Claude build me one, but it just didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. So that is a topic for another day. But I found that automation is honestly a good way to lift up the weight off your shoulders. And if you're wondering why should I automate, I think to a certain degree, you choose to. Yeah. So it's a choice. You make the choice. Why should I automate? It's a choice thing. I will tell you though that automation honestly makes a lot of things easier. Apart from finance, there are a lot of things that can be automated about your day. You can set up your alarm for a specific time every single day. So I have this alarm on my phone that is for every single day, a specific time. I don't have to keep resetting the alarm every single day. It's automated. There are a lot of things that you can automate. You can automate your spending, your investments, your division of money. That's for finance. Outside of finance, you could also automate your trackers, your to-do list. I automate my grocery shopping list. I have a list of every single thing that I buy. And then every week when I want to go shopping, I just pick the things that I need for that week. It's an automated system. You may say, oh, it's not because it doesn't do it itself. I don't have to rewrite every single thing every single week that I want to go to the supermarket. So automated systems are honestly a lot easier to work with. They also make repetition not be a daunting task, I would say. To a certain degree, if they make repetition to not be a daunting task. Because at some point, you would say, why can't I just have a template for this thing and just use the template to build on it? That's why templates are created. Templates are a form of automation systems. You may not have learned that, but they are. Because when you have a blueprint of what every single thing is meant to look like, you don't have to keep rebuilding the blueprint every single time you want to correct a certain task. I don't want to add that automation is not ignorance, which a lot of us have, which I have seen today that a lot of people take it as automating my finances. Automating your finances doesn't mean that you ignore them. Like I said, every single month when after I automated my Bamboo to buy a certain stock, every single month it sends me receipts and I checked the receipts. I went into the Bamboo app, see how the stock has done. Should I keep buying it? Should I not buy it? Should I sell it off? Should I keep waiting? I read economic news. I read investment banking articles on the stock. So automation wasn't equal to ignorance, and it should not be equal to ignorance. Ignorance is blissful. Of course it is, until you run into the big problem. But then it's not blissful when the problem seems to be bigger than what you actually expected them to be. So when you automate your finances, it doesn't equal to ignorant. You should still do your weekly check-in. Be sure that your automation system is actually working the way you want it to. It's serving you the way you want it to serve you. You should do the monthly check-ins. Am I hitting my goals? Am I hitting my set objectives? What went wrong this month? What's going right? Do I need to change the automation? Do I need to move the dates to an earlier date or a later date? Because this date doesn't seem to be serving me anymore. So automation is not ignorance. It's just a simple way of the world saying, you need a bit of help, so let me help you. And then you can take it over from wherever you want to take it over from. It's as simple as that. So we shouldn't automate because we want to be ignorant of things. So we want to be blissfully unaware. It makes no sense to automate because we want it to be easier, but don't automate and ignore. That's foolishness. I'm sorry, what it is. I want to end by saying automation was built to make your life easier and simpler, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every single thing in the world can be automated. To a degree, if everything is automated, then we will just be running interference, checking things. And I think at some point, if everything was honestly automated, there'll be no need for a learning process, which would be very, very sad because we do love learning. So I believe that you should still go learn about all that you need to learn concerning a thing, a topic, a subject, a sector, an industry. By the same time, it's not bad to find processes that make learning or doing certain things easier for yourself. It's all balance. You have to find the balance. You have to find the line, the skill, and make sure that you're not leaning too much on one side or the other side. And while you go automating finances, I wish you all the best. And I'll see you next week on the Tiny Share Talk. Bye-bye.